Hello. The game changer in architecture education is that turning around, looking at architecture education as what a Gen Z, the generation now, well, the alphas are coming. What a Gen Z sees now is that I can start working. I don't need a university degree, but if I get into architecture degree, I don't really have to go to the 2 other years that I needed to be a traditional architect. Because an architect could be working right now to change things around, to solve problems. And I have enough skills to enable to do that. So out the window goes the traditional architect, the way you'd go, what we have been doing in the curriculum reviews, the way you'd usually go, that we've discussed a lot about. Out of the window, that 2 years. Now, with the first degree, I can make my own life. If I'm interested in helping the community, if I'm interested in being an entrepreneur, I'm brave enough. I calculated the risk. I would learn more, or I would learn anyway, and I could make money quicker, and I would solve a lot of my problems. All I need is confidence to do it. I've had enough. I can do whatever I need to do. Yes, I'm not called an architect. You can call me anything, but I don't really care. What I have is the need to have a degree the first 3 years, and now I can do what I need to do. As long as I'm not doing the traditional way of trying to find a job as an intern or a year out, 1 year practical training in an architecture company. I mean, that's 1 year of my life, and then there's 2 more years where basically I have 3 years of my life to get to be a graduate in architecture. And is that good enough? Is that training good enough? Of course, this is not to be an architect, but to be an entrepreneur. So there is this thinking that there are ways for me to be satisfied with my life, to be able to do things which is out there. There could be places that I could work, or working on my own, or collaboration. It's enough for me to be fulfilled. Because I'm from the generation that follows the traditional architect's, shall we say, education. But I didn't actually become a traditional architect. I actually went to teaching. So I became an entrepreneur later in my life. When I was teaching, I did not go the traditional way of becoming an administrator in a university, but I decided to be more on the research part, and I decided to be a startup founder. So yeah, I'm slower than that student now, that 20-something Gen Z person. I'm slower than them, but can I feel the pulse of what's happening now? What's happening now is that the second degree becomes redundant. We're looking at a generation that may not, well, I could feel from what I hear, what I listen to, what I've been hearing, is also the body language Also, how many students of architecture decide to want to take up the second degree. There is not much research. It's just not real research, obviously, of collecting data, because I don't actually do that, but this is my observation. From teaching a bunch of people a couple of years ago, during the movement control order period, during the pandemic, you can see that a lot of disillusionment. And people were tired. By the end of third year, you can see that there was no inspiration. You cannot blame architecture courses. They've been designed like that since I was a lecturer in my 30s. It is still the same architecture curriculum. The game changer, obviously, is I don't need a master's in architecture, and I don't need to be called an architect to do stuff. Due to my skills, I can make money. I can be partners with others, and we could go out there and do stuff. And I'm interested in community architecture. I'm interested in context specificity. I'm interested in working with companies that are similarly interested in to resolve problems in society, in particular to do with issues of marginalized and disenfranchised sections of the community. I'm not going to sell out to developers. I'm not going to go that way. But okay, I mean, that's the way the world works. That's the way it is. You have rich people and you have poor people. But I just want to get the projects on the ground and resolve the issues for them. So that's one thing. That's one perception or one attitude. You also have the attitudes of startup entrepreneurs, which, no, it's not traditional architecture at all. It's doing stuff with others, with information technology and AI, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and stuff like that, and creating a startup to resolve problems in society, because I know enough from the first degree that I've been exposed enough, and I've worked on my own as well to self-study the issues. I've been reading a lot, and I'm very confident that I could do something to change what's happening in society. That monoliths or institutions aren't able to. Now, this is a game changer. This is really something interesting, which all of us could think about, because it is making myself interested or excited about. There are this bunch of people disillusioned, and they would want to learn this, because I don't find them in yet, but there are architecture graduates that are out there that I could network with, the ones who just finished the third year or a few years already, who would like to venture out to be an entrepreneur, who would learn a few things and would be confident enough to be that startup founder on something or another. And these people are now 25-year-old, 26. So, listen closely. I don't know how long it will be, but it could be in this decade alone. It's only 2024. This decade, you can find changes. You can find pressures on architecture education and many other professional courses that are, shall we say, the most volatile when it comes to recession or when something's not right. The most that could be affected by recession, the most that can be affected by COVID-19, shall we say, that had happened earlier. these professions, which I'm thinking that it can even be a game changer in terms of, shall we say, the game changing is based on the needs of society and what is needed to be done, and a lot of other things. So because you're saying all this, all eyes on Gaza, all eyes on Rafah, sorry, you see that people blocking out celebrities that doesn't say anything about the Palestinian issue. How strong are the movement? How influential is social media? How quick does the community get together? Yes, we shall think more about this.